I call the Personnel and Finance Committee meeting to order. Commissioner Isom, Coach. Then we have the minutes of July 16th. Note that no meeting took place in August or September. And the first thing we have reports is the Personnel and HR review the Finance Director job description. Pack.
I was following instructions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, Mr. Galladay?
Doing very well. How are you? For the personnel report, okay, to date, just been focused regarding HR and administrative tasks, recruitment, employee relations, compliance, reporting, benefits administration, onboarding, risk management, workers' compensation. We have completed our health benefit enrollment for this current year, so it started October the 1st. As of today, we have 69 employees, one new hire, which is a part-time fire, no terminations. We have 5 open positions, 4 public safety, and we do have, I think it's 1 resume to review, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2, for the finance director's position. Was it 3? Okay. And the summer youth program it ended on August the 1st. I believe that is all that we do have for the personnel report.
How did the summer youth go? We get enough,
You know, it seemed like it went by pretty fast. It seemed like it didn't last long, or
how long did it
it,
last, city manager?
it went by quick. It did.
Learned a lot about working, and I know Corey Sterling do a great job at that position. Commissioner Henry.
I just want to know how the schedule for the 3 resumes gonna be. How long when you gonna give it to us? This is the question I'm asking.
Okay. She
It's in the packet.
They're not physically in your packet, they were in what was sent out.
Okay, thank you.
and please take a look at them, and that's why we have the financial director job description on the agenda tonight, to make sure this is what we want, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Continue.
That concludes the personnel.
Commissioner Kennard, you anything on the?
No, I'm just ready for you to get into the depths of whatever you're going on to.
Oh.
You just got it.
View of the finance director description. That's what we're doing. Oh. Turn to the finance director job description, and we have. This is the revised one, the draft, okay? And this is the one, the parts that was revised. And this is a description of what we're looking for, okay, and finance director, so I hope everybody read it. Okay, I see you, Commissioner Narba. I'm gonna call you, put your hand down, I'm gonna call you. And so I hope everybody read it. And this was we looking forward to put the right person in this position. Citizen Rep, you got anything that you want to say? Okay. Commissioner Kennard.
I'd like to ask.
Can you come to the?
Good afternoon. It's not evening yet, but I'd like to know, how do you all put together the requirements? Who is it that does that? Because I know we are commissioned as a whole, and I didn't have any input in putting things together and whatever.
That's not what. That's why we looking over it now. I asked you, you got anything?
I thought that perhaps that you all had already
This not-
put
this-
down the qualifications.
Is it? It's a draft. Did you see some you didn't like or you want to add that should be in there? This was a draft.
This is the draft. Who put the draft together?
We looked at the whole job description and revised it. Well, we got HR, we got the clerk, we got MML, like that.
So I'm not sure where the original one came from. There's only a couple revisions in here. One states the requirements of having a master's degree. It was revised to include or a minimum of a BS or BA in accounting and the equivalent of a minimum of 5 years of financial management in a municipal setting. And that's kind of been discussed at Personnel and Finance, so that's kind of where that came from, because the resumes that we're getting that do have a master's degree don't have any municipal experience whatsoever. And experience kind of outweighs education a little bit sometimes, depending on the, on the job, but, so that was changed, and then the only other revision, it was added about having proficiency in BS&A accounting software is preferred, because that's our financial software that we use.
That's really important.
What about their track record once the person has been serving over a length of time?
What you mean?
A little background check. How well did they do it? Because sometimes you see a person move a lot. You want to know
To a
on the
background
job.
check, right? Yeah, go ahead.
So as far as like their job background, that would be looked at in their resume when they submit their resume. So the committee and the commission would look at their resume, which would be included on there. So they'd be able to see how long they've served at each job, the length that they were there,
Okay.
and then make that determination from there.
Questions? Anybody? Ms. Love, you got anything you want to say? Okay, thanks. Representative Smith? Oh, stretching. Okay, Administrator Galladay.
And looking at the job description, maybe we should look at, especially like when on line 6, where it says, like, assist the city manager preparing an annual budget, but then monitor and analyze expenditures throughout the fiscal year. My experience, it appears as though most of when we did hire someone as the finance director, they were misguided as in what their job actually entitles, because they come in here expecting that they're going to have a whole team to work with, and that's not the case here in the city. They're a one-person team like most of us are in departments. So I think that's been one of the main issues, that they're expecting that they're going to be actually supervising people to actually do the work and them not doing the work themselves. So wording is important. And looking at this, it does seem like that they would be overseeing people to do the financial work and not actually doing it themselves. What, number 6, where not to assist the city manager in preparing, but where it says monitor and analyze expenditures throughout the year, that's they're not monitoring, analyze, they're actually preparing it and doing it themselves.
Exactly right.
I love it.
Noted clerk.
And
Mr. Chairman, for what it's worth, what she just said is the most single critically important piece in the whole thing.
And I think that probably when this was initially created, there probably were people that that position would oversee, but now there's just not.
I think the wording just needs to be changed. Instead of monitoring, analyze, maybe, you're actually preparing the expenditures and. It's-
So I think what it actually means is that the finance director basically oversees the expenditures throughout the fiscal year. They monitor the expenditures. It's not monitoring a person, it's monitoring the actual expenditures.
Compliance with the approved budget.
And Commissioner Isom, one of the very important things I think is very crucial, and I've seen that is very important, that since we haven't had a finance director in place, and there was some discrepancies that they weren't able to get the information to update them to where they were, because things have been monitored by Plant Moran, that they should be able to get everything from the last time that a finance director was in there, so that they can have a accurate report on what they came in, instead of getting a surprise once they're there, and then it comes up a big friction there. So I think that they should be able to capture all the information of all of our operations of the monies and how it was spent over that period of years that we didn't have a solid finance director in there. And who was the ones that monitored here to give the information to Plant Moran?
Thank you, Commissioner Kennard. Mr. Henry.
That's gonna be an expensive deal. With one, but if I can remember, that department had another person. Maybe I missed it. Was it an AP person that worked directly with the financial manager? I mean, with the finance?
I don't know how it worked.
Prior to the emergency manager, there was a finance director, an accounts payable clerk, a payroll clerk, and it was a deputy finance director. So you had multiple people in the departments. However, when the emergency manager came, as you all know, more than half the staff was eliminated, which left a finance director.
So that-
So, and even with like the accounting, the accounts payable and payroll clerk, like for years, I was doing payroll, and that was not part of my job description. It was only a couple of years ago that they actually combined the accounts payable position and the payroll position together. So you still have a person doing double duties,
So what we have now, we got the
accounts payable person / payroll clerk, and the finance person.
used to be 4 is 2. Was
Yes. Well,
Well,
one
it was
is
4 before
One,
the
two.
financial manager.
4.
Was it
Right,
5?
well, and that's why I was counting, because you had Jackie, Doris, John. It was 4. It was 4.
Go ahead, Commissioner Henry.
Okay, that just kind of put some clear thought so I can think about what we really need to do about this. Because when the financial manager left, he just kicked dirt on us and left. But if we don't take our authority as elected officials and think and put things back right, we'll always be wondering why we're so dysfunctional. Because we're playing with the different deck of cards that we haven't been playing with. So now, thank you for, setting me straight on that.
And please give the proper name. Who we have now is not a finance director. She deals with the finance. But if you were to examine what a finance director.
Ms. Kennard, you got,
When I first came in as a commissioner, the first thing that I was talked to that, Ms. Kennard, we're glad you're here. Tell you that we do have a finance director. I said, no, we don't. It said finance director. Where did this person get paid from? Plant Moran. So they're directing her. She is not fitting the wording. Finance director have to monitor everything that comes in and goes out. A lot of times when you have a finance institution comes in, whatever you feed them, you give them what you spend out and whatever. But a finance director, they're obligated to make sure that everything is completely as it's supposed to be. That's why they named it finance director. And I asked her personally herself, and she, right here, she said, no, she gets paid from Black Moran. So that's who her boss is, not Ben Howard. She's working under their rule.
thank you, Ms. Kennard. Commissioner Kennard, opinion. Everybody happy with the job description? Anything? Do we want to move that forward then, the way it, as is? City manager.
If, if I might, I think there needs to be something specific in here that addresses what she said, because she's absolutely right. That person needs to understand when they come in here that they're not going to be sitting at a desk with their feet up on it. They're going to have a pencil in their hand, a computer right in front of them, and they're going to be crunching numbers all day, every day, because they've got to actually produce the reports.
I agree. It needs to be very clear
That's right.
to anyone that reads it, what the duty's gonna be. And, Honorable Chair, I want to thank the clerk or whoever sent the, document as a draft and show us what was being changed and left again, so I appreciate that effort.
So I think in that very first paragraph where it says general summary, it says oversees and supervises the work of employees assigned to financial services. We should just completely X that out. That's in that very first paragraph under general summary.
Oversees and supervises the work of employees assigned to financial services.
Well, that still doesn't say what we really wanted to say.
And then under essential job functions, it says an employee in this position may be called upon to do any or all of the following. They are the only ones that do any and all of the following.
Very clear. We don't want anybody.
That's right under essential job function, that very first line. So then it says examples do not include all the duties, which may be expected to be performed. But I think that we need to make sure that that's clarified, that they're not going to be called, but they are called upon, like, these are their duties.
Matter,
Is there a salary you can share with the full body on that. Okay, you're there, you're there.
And like one where it says maintains all financial records of the city, you probably want to put develops and maintains all financial records of the city.
That says everything.
That's right, it does.
Look how we work together. Isn't that sweet? Praise God.
Expect great things.
I didn't mean to do that.
What did we come up with, example, the job essential functions?
I would probably just take that first portion out, and I would just go with, to perform this job successfully, an individual must be able to perform each essential function satisfactory, and then maybe put, these examples do not include all of the duties which the employee may be expected to perform, and maybe take out that whole first portion.
What do you think about that, Ms. Galladay? That ain't good.
I mean, it would definitely help.
It'll make them have a question on their mind. They might not know exactly what it means.
At least they would at least have the basis, right, to what is it to expect? Because I think their expectations was completely off.
Agree, because I think people thought, well, some of the, I know we hired that thought they was gonna delegate, while they kick back, and so.
And I think that that's probably something that's really important to lay out when you start interviewing people too, is let them know that you're it. You're not going to be supervising a whole office full of people. You are it.
Agree, Commissioner Henry.
But isn't that everybody in finance under him still?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
There's no one in the finance
except
department.
council payable and pay, and what, isn't that person under him? Them? it-
They just bring reports to the finance director, right?
Oh, the Water Hand Center?
I don't know, I'm asking the question, so I can have an understanding of where, how it's supposed to be.
Okay,
It's the one person that is in accounts payable and payroll. That's basically what you got. But the key thing you want to do here, because it impacts the type of person that's going to apply for your job. You've got, in this area, two types of people. One, that person that's moving up that ladder, that's focusing on supervision. And they want to be paid to come to work, sit in their office, give direction, look at reports that are prepared for them, sign them, and that's not what you need.
Right.
The other type is going to be the person that's trying to move up through the process, probably doesn't have the master's degree, but has worked in payroll, has worked in accounts payable, has worked in receivables, and knows the work and can actually do it. And if you put, for example, instead of saying supervises a preparation and issuance of tax bill, put in there, prepares and issues the tax bill. That's the job they're doing, all right? Responsible for overseeing all functions of that's probably reasonable. But most of the rest of these, you want to word them where they understand that they need to be able to do these things.
So instead of supervises, we can probably change most of those to prepare. I wouldn't I wouldn't totally change where it says the ability to supervise and oversee the work of others, just because there is somebody under them. So we want to make sure that they have some kind of supervisory skills, so.
Around a long time, the day could come where we may be able to have some staff.
All right, so we good with the changes? Now, this is something we have to vote on. We'll send to the commission. Yeah, just get it. All right, let's send this to,
Number 6 been there at all times, was that from the original?
all right, we'll move that forward. You get it all drawn out and for us. All right, next we have the city income tax.
So the City Income Tax Department, been processing late individual returns that basically comes in throughout the year. Business tax returns, processing payments on a regular basis, on a daily basis, process mail, annual reconciliations. So far in 2025, our office has processed 509 residence tax returns and 1,476 non-resident tax returns. Tax returns are due on April the 30th of each year. It's always 15 days after the regular tax is due. Compliance has started in the department. So far, what I've done is sent out letters. Most of them are like second and third letters to people that actually owe city tax returns. It has been doing good because we have had a lot of people pay, called in to do payment arrangements, which was the basis, as long as, we have their attention, to make a long story short. So it has been successful. And also in the Water Payment Center, I've also gave them like a booklet, so whenever new people come in for their water bill, they're actually given a booklet, so they already know that they have to pay city income tax. So there's no, I didn't know, or anything of the sort. So, we've done that, and also a draft, which we're going to look at, for a small claims policy. So that is, after we do the letters, we need something else to make people actual pay when they just refuse to do so. So that's where the small claims policy will come from, which we'll review after, I guess, I do my report here. Did have a meeting, our quarterly meeting with the city income tax, which was September the 26th. The meeting was very successful, as it is always. Basically, in the meetings, what we do is make sure everyone is doing everything the same way. The law changes on a regular basis, and things change, so it's just updates, things of the sort. One thing that they did this time was did kind of a summary of most of the cities that actually participated in the survey of how much the tax has increased over the years. So ours, since we started in 2018, that's where ours, City of Benton Harbor, is based on. But the base was 2014 to current. I have to admit, the City of Benton Harbor was the most that had an increase. So ours increased from 2018 to 2024, 109%, which was very good. Most of the cities was like, some was like in the 20%, some was like 30%, but like the average was like 57%, but ours was the highest, so I'm happy.
Ours was
Especially me
people-
being a department of one, every other city has at least 3 or 4 people in their department.
And you do all this, so you,
Solo. Yes, sir. So I was pretty excited.
so that's something to work on.
Is it because Ben Harbor is so new in the field, or
So,
we one of the newest ones that signed on? It was.
so you're saying people are paying the taxes, that's what you're saying?
People are paying the taxes from 2018 to now. So when we first started in 2018, our base was $977,023.60. In 2024, it's $2,045,118.90. So we actually increased like over $1 million.
Yeah. I see that.
You're not impressed, Commissioner Harry? I was all excited.
You got reason to be excited.
So the comparison from September 2024 to September 25, individual returns, it wasn't an increase or a decrease, it was 0%. Our withholdings increased 58%. The total deposits increased 69%. Our refund is decreased 62%, and our revenue increased 147%. And that concludes city income tax.
Question, so other cities has like 2 or 3 people in their income tax department.
3 to 4 people.
So do they, get paid out of the income tax itself?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we have enough money do you need help? I'm saying, do you think you do?
If
need
I
help?
get one more person, it would benefit, especially if the small claims policy is, if you guys approve it.
Okay.
Because what that is, it would take more time away from myself just to do the small claims because it's very time consuming because you're dealing with courts and things of the sort. And it's a process you have to go through and be timely and things of the sort. On top of the regular duties for the city income tax and on top of my human resource duties that I'm also do as well.
This is working, and you know, we getting compliance, and I think you do need help. So who you hire your own people, or you could take, you got a job description, or?
I do have a job description, and yes, it's myself and City Manager Little actually attends the interviewing process for that.
What's this position called?
It is called, you would ask me that. That's a good question. What is it called? It's City Income Tax /HR. That's why I want to think, is it specialist or? But it's a combined position, to make a long story short, as an HR and a city income tax in regards to it. So it's a combined type of position.
That'll be something to look at, city manager, as the city move forward, you know, with this tax thing, we getting compliance, and you finna tell us about the compliance now, right?
Yes, for the policy that I would like to have adopted. So this is part of the compliance piece that we've been discussing for about the past year. So it will apply when people do not actually pay their city income tax. It goes from individuals, businesses, whomever. Most cities actually have this policy in effect. It's the small claims. You have some that put warrants out for their arrest if they don't pay the city income tax, but most of the cities are doing the small claims, which basically if you don't pay, we take you to small claims court. If you don't show up, or if you do show up, you can go into like a payment plan, which you can do that before we even go to small claims court. But if you default in a payment plan, it will default back to the process wherever you are in the small claims court. But if you default in that and decide not to pay, then it's garnishment. So we can actually garnish. And if you don't do that, it automatically goes on your credit report. So, but it will hopefully make people pay without going through this process. The threshold that we did for the balance due, because you also have to look, because it's price, it costs also to go to small claims. So therefore, the threshold is $500. So if you owe 500 or more, then that's when the process will start to the small claims. Anything under that, I guess, we haven't figured that out yet. Let's just say that. I guess if we have a lot of people that is not paying, because of like, well, I don't owe 500, so they're not going to take us small claims, you might revisit it later. But right now, the threshold is $500 to move forward.
And,
Good.
how far in the rear, will most of them be before yes.
So basically, looking at how the other cities do it, it would probably be maybe a year or two before it gets to that point. However, it really just depends. So the process, like you have to send at least 3 notices. You probably
But
have
you
to-
wouldn't send 3 notices with less than a year.
I mean, we could, but I just don't have the time. So most compliance starts after the tax season. So tax season's like from January till April the 30th. Most tax returns, people always do like late tax returns. So let's just say it's from January to June. That's the tax season. That you just basically bring in tax returns.
So actually, you could
process
send
them.
3 of them within that time?
No, between January and June, we're not doing compliance at all because now we're just processing tax returns.
Okay.
So compliance normally starts like, July until December.
But on the question she's asking though, about number of years, I don't think it has to take any years. If it gets past the $500, that's the purpose of the $500. It's time to start doing that season.
And this is the city income tax?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. I just want to have that information in case I'm asked.
What's that? You say anything? You got more? Or?
That's it.
Yeah, I saw that you did give a process where you touched this person more than once to notify them. So that shows something. I think the only thing that I'm really concerned about is repossessing property. Somewhere in here, I kind of perused it, I didn't get a chance to read it along, but, somewhere in here I read about,
Henry.
somewhere I read about repossessing of property. I know you can seize bank accounts, but I can't find that part where,
It's on the second page under options on judgment after 21st days.
okay. So that kind of leads me to ask, according to law, how does that work?
As determined by the office.
That leads to me to more questions as how did that work?
So I think that because it's options on judgment, the judgment actually comes from the court. So these could, any one of these could be court-ordered judgments. So that would be based off of whatever the judge decides.
Uh-oh, there's a people issue here. I don't know if Benton Harbor residents even have $500 worth of income tax in any one household or not. But I don't want our people to be subject to Barron County Courthouse. The judges, it's bad enough to go over there because you know it's all about money when you go over there. So I just want us to make sure that we put the most compassionate part of it to make sure that our residents don't get caught up in the snare.
I completely agree with Commissioner Harry, and that's why one of the things that we do offer is payment plans. And I have had a lot of people call to set up payment plans, and they have, so far, most of them have been abiding by like the payment plan monthly, but that is an option. So even if someone owes, just say $1,000, if they call the office and set up a payment plan and actually abide to that payment plan, we won't even go to small claims court. This is when someone is just basically evading us, period, and say, I'm not going to pay, I'm not looking at any mail, and I'm not calling the office to schedule.
Like all attempts.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Right. Move that forward to the full body. Thank you, clerk.
Do you think we could look at this a little longer? This got in my hand today. I don't know when you saw it. But can we take this one more, kick it down the road one more time? Yes, it's necessary when it comes to stuff like this. We wanna know what the real outcome and how it's gonna affect people that we're dealing with. So, yes, ma'am, one more time, I would like to see it to go one more time. So
Working on this. She been working this on a long time
Did you read
here.
it?
She been working on it a long
I
time.
said, did you read it, Chair?
And it was reviewed by the city attorney. We had a meeting, all of us met and went over it. And like Lisa said, it's very standard on what other cities do for their small claims.
Would it hurt you if we took it down kicked it down the road one more time and read it to get a complete understanding? I mean, you can be truthful. If it's gonna hurt, then maybe I should shut my mouth.
I'm not going to say
Well, one of the things the city attorney should be here when we need to ask these questions.
Do you have an idea what our total uncollectibles is right now in terms of arrears?
Oh, you gotta share all the information with us.
I hope I brought it. No, I didn't put that in the packet. And I didn't, but I did have it. Let me think. It was,
So an approximate amount would be
it
fine.
was like approximately 50,000, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't I share it in the meeting? I think it was about. What I do know is whatever it was from July till September, we collected like $20,000 just from, yes, just from sending out letters. So we did collect approximately $20,000 just from back taxes from sending out letters. So what was actually left, something told me maybe it was like between 50 and 60,000, if my memory serves me correctly. But, I think it was something.
That's the information when you get,
I can send you the number. I can't actually send you the sheet, but I can send you the number.
that haven't been collected, yeah.
Yeah, that might.
It'll be from July to September too, right? That'll
Do you
be,
want just what's haven't been collected as of today? Or do you want me to give you the difference in before I started sending out notices until now? I think I sent it in the email. Did I not?
I like that.
you happy?
When we get more information, the more
See?
information she gives, the more I feel better.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to just comment that I think that we as a city have to continuously monitor noncompliance in all areas because the city's not rich. It's in a financial tight and has been ever since the emergency managers left. One of the other things that I think we also need to do is to find a way to for you to be able to compare the list of people who are filing against, for example, Brian sent out a list, I think, of all the people that had business licenses and so forth. That could be compared to make sure that everybody is paying. Some may not be paying at all, and so they don't show as delinquent, but, yeah. So we've got continuous work to do in these areas to try to improve this. And I don't think that any more than normal compassion that we would show with water bills or anything else should be applied. We need to collect what's owed. Because if people get the feeling that all they got to do is keep coming up with a reason why they shouldn't pay and they can get away with it, they're not going to pay.
And that's absolutely true. One thing that I did not state is that this only covers the people we know hasn't paid. So these are the people that actually filed a tax return, and on their tax return, it shows that they owed an outstanding balance, and they just decided not to pay it. So this is only what that's covered. But you're absolutely correct, it's a whole nother part of compliance with the people that's non-compliant, non-filers, that I haven't even had a chance to touch yet. So I'm just going after the people that we do know. Yes.
Thank you. We'll move that forward. Thank you for the update. Thank you so much. Financial, we got from the Finance Department, the bulk of the property tax distribution for the year have been received, and the general fund and utility fund are still low. Spending should be kept at necessary operational items only. Tax account cash is high compared to '24 because the brownfield property taxes received have not been distributed yet. There's 43% of accounts receivable balance for the utility billing still over 60 days past due. There are additional pages. It's from the finance.
Is it on my computer? What you're reading?
I get the report, like,
Could you so you send it to me, because I couldn't hear nothing.
what you can hear, what you want to hear.
Just send it to me, because you know I like to verify.
Verify.
Yeah, that's what I do, I verify.
All right.
So if you send it to me, and please, when I ask for you to send it to me.
I know.
Send it to the rest of the commission too, please.
Yeah, we can verify that.
Thank you.
Next, we have the financials, approval of projects expenditures. Commissioner Henry, I did promise you, I told you that the amendments was gonna be, on this date, but no, wait a minute. City manager, I'll let the city manager explain. City manager?
We were looking at trying to do an amendment, but as we started to work on it, we determined that we really didn't have a need to do one, so we didn't at this point. We may later in the year, but for the first 3 months, we didn't have.
I'm sorry, did he say that we didn't have any amendments? What did he say? I'm sorry.
We don't have a budget amendment yet, and we won't do one for this first quarter. Remember, that only 3 months have passed in this fiscal year.
Right. But we did have some issues when the budget, was passed. And Chair, Honorable Chair, you told me that we will be able to review that budget because of the restraints we were under to approve that budget. So now, money has come in and money has gone out. Things have changed from month to month. So, because we don't have a person that come directly under the Commission for Finance, I'm asking staff to provide every kind of information that we could get until we get a financial director. So, to review the budget of what we actually approved at the last minute, and you did promise me that we were going to look at it again, and I do know that changes have been made in and out of,
The changes, if you look in your packet, the changes are in the back. You'll see.
So you do have a revenue and expenditure report that shows basically what has come in for income and what has gone out to date
It's
for
amended
this
budget.
budget.
It does say,
looking at page 10,
it say amended budget.
Yeah, looks like 6 through page 19.
Mr. Henry,
there it is.
there it is.
Thank you so much.
And when you look at
Madam Clerk.
it, when you look at it, please, if we can find,
I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna tell my accountant to come and look at it too.
thank you,
Numbers
Commissioner
don't
Henry.
lie, people do.
Thank you, Commissioner Henry. It's what the Personnel and Finance Committee do. We get things solved. That's
Expect great things.
expect great things. Go ahead, City Manager.
Yes, sir. So what I did do is to present a resolution to review with you 3 items that I expect to expend funds on, so that everybody knows what it is and why or whatever, as we begin to try and move forward with addressing some of our issues. One of them is $15,000 that I expect to need to spend to address the preparation of a site for the homeless people. We've got to get the people away from City Center Park. Another $9,000 to replace the Martin Park sign that was destroyed, that fell underneath our deductible, so we have to do it. And I'm requesting $40,000 to use over the period between now and next spring to try and put together a couple of splash pads for these young kids to go in a couple of our parks. We've gone through this past year watching our children come out here in mass numbers across the street where the fire department used their equipment to try and at least provide some relief. You may recall that after that first day, all of those kids appeared the second day, and the truck wasn't there because it had to go fight a fire that was in St. Joe. And in fact, by the time they got back, most of the kids had left, but there were a few still around that we went ahead and tried to service. We should not have that situation, and I believe that we can put a couple of these smaller splash pads, nothing as large or as grandiose as the one that they have at St. Joe, but still sufficient enough that our kids, when the temperature starts hitting 90-plus degrees, can go in the park and push a button, and the water will spray for 30 to 45 minutes and cool them off. If they want to push the button again, it'll do it again. But the purpose of having a timer is so that they don't just run continuously. And because we do have to report water that's used to Eagle. So that's basically what I'm doing. And I indicated in there that this is not going to present a problem to the budget because we are having positive adjustments in other areas that's going to offset everything that we're talking about. In fact, more than offset it. For example, we've made a change with the phone service that's going to net save us somewhere in the neighborhood of around, I'm going to say about $2,600 a month. What we're doing with analytics when we complete that transfer, you'll recall when we reported on that it was already up to $19,000 a month and was going higher, and what we're bringing in, which will include us owning our equipment, will start at about $14,000. So that's a $5,000 a month difference right there that we'll be saving. So there should be no difficulty in terms of expenditures.
City manager, tell us about the preparation site for the homeless. Tell us about that.
Basically, what I want to do is to try and provide them at least what they're getting by being in the park where they are over here. A roof that can be over their heads in case it rains or whatever. Lighting. Going to add a couple of porta potties that they don't have over there that will be regularly cleaned. I want to put in at least one electrical outlet and water for them to drink. And I think I can do that within that $15,000. And hopefully with cooperation from the churches that are doing the feeding, we start feeding them at this different location, and hopefully they'll stay there as opposed to down here in City Center Park, because City Center Park becomes more problematic every day that continues. We've got businesses down there that are complaining that people come out of the business and they're being confronted by folks begging for money and getting angry and cursing them out, saying other stuff to them. Some feel threatened if they don't give what they're asking, and that's no way to rebuild a downtown.
The city owns the lot, correct?
That's correct.
And so how do you get these people to leave there where they're at now? Because some of them in wheelchairs and stuff like that to come there. You think they want to come by? You got I don't know.
The key to it, I think, is the feeding.
Mm-hmm.
If the folks are bringing the food to them there, that's where they're going to go. Now, the question becomes, will they stay? And that's the purpose in providing these amenities. I believe they will stay if they can get everything there that they're getting over here. The only thing they'll be missing is that Main Street traffic and the businesses across the street for them to walk up and, talk to the people and so forth, which is exactly what we don't want.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like a good idea, but I don't know. We got Old Man Winter right on our back. Old Man Winter.
And it's going to be there
If that
whether they're
wind
out here in
blowing,
the park or up here. That won't change. They're still going to have to find some place to be out of the weather.
I don't. You talking about what kind of tent? I don't understand. Aluminum tent or
Not a
something?
tent, but you've seen these carports type overhangs, yes. Yes, mounted on a post that's overhead that if they want to get under it, if it's raining or whatever, they can get out of it. Not any different than what they're doing right there with that front pavilion.
I don't know. We got some churches over there too. It's cold out there. I drive through there on my way to work about 4:30 in the morning, and they just people out there with sheets and wheelchairs with sheets over their head. I know I have to turn my heat on in my truck. So I'm just thinking about when that wind get the, I don't know. I don't know if I feel Commissioner Henry.
Well, it could be a fix. But I'll just have to say this. City manager have a burr with Dr. Times. Now he's saying that he's gonna put a homeless shelter up in the driveway of Dr. Times' building. Now, the city owns it. It's a driveway. You can see that it's a visual driveway, come up off the street, and then the next property belongs to the church. So now, when I suggested, well, let's go to 200 Pawpaw, because it has a bigger concrete area and you can put more people. And it's off the beaten track too. The response was that, well, they're gonna go into the building at 200 Pawpaw and it's not accessible.
That was not the response.
Neither one of them is accessible. The one here at whatever the address is on Pipestone, or is accessible, people should not be living in it. So I'm thinking that we need to go to the drawing board on this because it's October now. It could be November, and it could be October and we get snow and rain and freezing. So, and $15,000. I'd just like to know how many people could be housed in that shed. I'm just thinking that it's just not enough for us to do this and to put people in a place that they might have to move in a month. Or it might be that they can survive outside with a carport type thing on it. And I mean, they do. I give out blankets, socks, and shoes and blankets all the time for people that just can't find a place to stay. When they go over here to the high rise, they pay people to sleep in their bathtubs, underneath their table. They can have they give all their food stamps up and leave $10 just to sleep in somebody's bathtub, out of the elements. we're talking human beings here. So I'm just thinking that we might not be doing enough at 15,000. I don't know where the 15,000 came from because we keep saying we're broke. So
The
yeah,
savings.
but I'm gonna look at this thing. It should tell me with the money that came in. So, but no, I'm not. I'm not sure that this is what we need to be doing. And uh, after it was brought to my attention that Dr. Times made some serious comments about the city manager's position, there might be some little hardship there, and I don't want to see that.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Go ahead, city manager.
this nonsense about having some issue with Tynes, I don't particularly care for Tynes, but that's got nothing to do with it. I've got a job here and a responsibility to take care of. I am not attempting to provide a shelter for all winter long. There's no shelter for all winter out there in City Center Park. So it's not going to be any worse. But what I am attempting to do is to provide some interim solution and relief that doesn't harm them any worse than what they are. And as far as, not enough, I agree we're not doing enough. We don't have enough money to do enough. We don't have the ability to provide sleeping quarters and that kind of thing. Part of this began when Salvation Army had to let some of the people out of there. They are supposedly working on a plan to build a new building that's going to be on Market Street. But I don't think that building is going to get built before this winter. It's going to, at best, be next year. But in the interim, there are other, you've got emergency shelter services, although I know they don't have a lot of available space. You've got other entities that try to provide some services. But let's just face it, this is the country today. There are people all over the United States that are sleeping outdoors without shelter during winters and whatnot. Once again, all we're trying to do here is provide an interim solution for what's going on right here on your main street of town that's becoming increasingly problematic. And
The question for you. So this would just be like from November to January or something, or December, or just until?
as long as they're comfortable outside. And the thing about it is, as I said, and you've heard it said, it was said at last Wednesday night's meeting. I believe Ms. Brown and them said, the people are sleeping on the benches. They want to get up off the ground. Talked about putting several picnic tables out there. They would be able to be off the ground, but not on metal like they are currently. Again, the attempt is to try to provide everything that they have here and possibly a little bit better so that they're not harmed anymore. And that's the addition of the bathrooms, water fountain, otherwise light and electrical outlet. This is going to cost us a little ongoing money. We'll have to pay for those porta potties, and we'll have to pay even if we've only got one electrical outlet out there. It's going to cost us. And if we got one water line running in there to provide water for them to drink and maybe even where they can wash their hands and face and whatnot, it's still going to be a cost.
Right, Representative Smith.
Question, city commissioner, manager, what made you pick this location, and isn't that a business, a doctor's office? And
No, it's not.
so what's the location?
The location is this concrete pad that keeps being referred to as a driveway that we own, that's right here on this first block of Pipestone. You've got the store there, you've got this big empty building with no windows in it or anything else. It's not habitable. And then you've got the concrete pad portion that goes over to the little wall. And that wall can provide at least some protection from the wind and so forth as it blows in there, which they don't have over here. And the fact that it is paved already in concrete makes it a more desirable location. The key is they're still going to be trying to go to the soup kitchen. And there's a lot less distance to walk. I mean, there's no more distance to walk from out here in the park to soup kitchen than it would be to walk from there to the soup kitchen, as opposed to if we were trying to put them somewhere down here at 200 Paw Paw.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kennard.
Yes, one of the things that really troubled me about when you put a lot of people trying to get in from the weather or the hurt, sometimes they can get aggravated being stacked one onto another. We even have mothers with children that are becoming homeless or is already homeless. Couldn't we look at possibly working something out with the schools? We got so many schools that are empty, and that would be at least having them out of the elements. I would hate to think of the children maybe getting frostbite, or the winds are high and snow is blowing. It seemed to be very uncomfortable, and it just it really disturbs me to even think of anyone having to sit in situations like that. Nobody really knows how each one of them got in that condition or what, but the thing is to try to meet their needs. And the schools we got empty schools all over. So couldn't that be something that they could maybe work out with the school? They have sufficient bathrooms for them to go with that.
Mr. Chairman, I think those are wonderful thoughts, really, but they're not realistic. I mean, the schools that you're talking about are positioned where? You got the one up on Martin Hill that's half burned and not usable. If it were usable, who's going to pay the electric bill? Who's going to pay the water bill? Gas. We can barely keep our own stuff on. I'm being honest about it. But once again, there are no children living out there. As a matter of fact, one point of information that I've received is that there's about 8 or 9 people out there that are actually homeless that stay there. A lot of these other people that make these numbers swell are coming from all over, including out of Harbor Towers, to just socialize or when the feeding is taking place to eat. So they're not out there all the time. But again, and I believe it's an honorable thought to try to deal with trying to fix the problem, but we don't have the means to do it. School district couldn't afford to pay the electric bills, the gas and water on empty schools. I mean, that they're not receiving head count money from the state for.
But don't you have a certain amount of money you said you had to I guess, throw a cloth over something?
$15,000 won't pay a month's bill on any one of them schools.
That seems like an awful lot of money.
I guess another thing to kind of look at also is risk management portion of it. If, just say like if the city does have homeless people going to a shelter that's city-owned, and absolutely it's a terrible liability, and if something was to happen to that said person, that could be devastating for the city. It's a tremendous liability. It's unfortunate, but that's something the city probably can't handle. That's just my opinion, but that's it. I'm gone now.
And I have considered and looked at all these options, and I've asked everybody I could talk to, public safety, the committees, everybody, for ideas, and this is the best that I've been able to come up with.
Well, one of the other things, didn't they say that they have some of the homes that, places that one young man have, and he housed those that are having problem with a place to stay. And they were saying he had a place, and I did hear Commissioner Seats was saying that they don't know that they're registered or what, but we've got to try to meet those needs of the people. Whatever, if you see someone that's got a place set up like that, it might be an option.
Let me help with something that you may not be aware of, so you are aware of what I'm aware of. Aside from the people that assemble over here in City Center Park, that started back when the Salvation Army had to let those people out. And there was about 6 or 8 people that were over there initially. A church from Mountain Township started to coming over and feeding the people. Before long, and about the same time, they were preparing to demolish Modern Plastics. There was a huge homeless encampment just across the tracks from behind Modern Plastics, and they got pushed out of there. Some of them came here. Once the feeding started, there was a big encampment of homeless people out here behind Walmart and that farm store that's there. Some of those people came down here. Once the feeding got going on Sundays and whatnot, marked cars were observed bringing people from other places and letting them off down here. So that's a process that evolved here that got that thing started with the bigger number. And you've still got these encampments all over. The HRN, the Home Housing Resource Network, which we're a member of, we were meeting once a month, now we do it every other month. But they actually go out and do a count of the homeless in these different locations because they know where they are, they keep up with them. They go out and count them, they're required to count them and report them to the balance of state as to where they are. So I'm telling you, this is a large problem, and it's not just a Benton Harbor problem. It's a county problem, but most of it is getting shifted to Benton Harbor. And while we don't have the means to solve it or to take it on and make even a major dent in it, all we're trying to do with this is to replicate a little bit better what they would be losing by leaving that location to go to this location. They're still in walking distance to get to the feeding place over here. They still, if people want to go from Harbor Towers to sit and visit and talk with them, they're no farther away to go there than they are right here. And essentially, like I said, it'll be a little bit better in the sense that they will at least have restrooms and we'll try to put at least, I mean, I was told day before yesterday that a guy was seen over here had taken his sock off and had his foot in the drinking fountain washing. That's not a good thing for anybody, and we don't look down on any, because any of us could could have a problem and become homeless next month or the month after. Most people are just a couple of paychecks from being homeless. So we're just trying to do the best we can to address the situation and hopefully do them no harm.
On that homeless?
I work down there, well, up here. I work down there with the homeless, so I know some of the things, Oh, excuse me. I know some of the things that you're speaking about. Um, Sometimes it get kind of frustrating because you really want to help, but then you have those who say, they want to do things their way. I'm giving my all. I'm doing my best, and I understand a lot of. I understand what you're saying, but it's a lot of other things that we're putting money off in too. For plaques and things like that. And I was listening to one time the other lady, she was here, and she was talking about remove the benches. That's kind of cold. Why would you want somebody to sleep on a floor, a ground? That's kind of, that's real cold. Have some kind of heart. Like you say, you don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. And a lot of people don't believe that. And they should feel it. Because they've been so cold-hearted. They really have. They don't know what tomorrow gonna bring, but God's finna show them. He's finna show some of these people. And my concern is, I want to help with you, Mr. Little, and it's not easy. A lot of people, it's easy to come up here and say, do this, do that, but when I got involved, because I came homeless, because where I was working at the Ben Harbor area high schools, I lost my job because of lies. I ended up sleeping out in my car. So I know I can put my foot in. I know what it's like to be homeless. I can speak up now. It was a time I didn't want to speak up. I was hurt. Where's my grandbabies going to, stay? What is up it's just a lot that went through my mind. It's just a cold world. And we just have to work together on some things because they might get off on Mr. Little. I hear him get off on, it's not easy. I'm out there. And sometimes I just want to, get up and just drive away sometime because I can go so far. You understand what I'm saying? I can go so far. If I'm reaching out to you. I'm taking out time. I'm trying to help you. You have to help yourself too.
As you get to know and talk with these people, you'll find if there are 10 people, there are 10 different stories as to what their
Yeah.
situation is. Some of them, it's partly mental. Some of them, it's just down on their luck. Some of them want to be there. One of our firefighters was talking with one of the people over there trying to offer to help him get a place. And the guy said to him, I want to be here. I don't want no place. He said, what do I want with an electric bill and a gas bill and a water bill? I get $1,900 a month. He said, this is where I want to stay. And that's not everybody. That's him. But there are those kinds of different stories. And unfortunately, again, we do not have the ability or the wherewithal to fix the problem. And what, as I said again, I'm trying to do is provide an interim solution that does them no harm, and if at all possible, make it a little bit better.
Commissioner Henry?
I would like through the chair, for the city manager to provide us the area that we're speaking of. I refer to it as the driveway. He referred to it as the property the city owns. I would like to know how big that property is, and show me where it stops and ends, so I can get a better look at where he's wanting to put it. During committee meeting, it was said that there was some things going on in the building was not in compliance with ordinances. I would like to see something happen. Fix that before we set something else there that's a little bit off the key because of the liability, because of all the other things, the weather and all of that. So I need some more information on this. I don't want to just say no. $15,000 is a lot of money as far as I'm concerned. but it is not enough to, take care of a whole lot of people, and I need that kind of information. I need the information on what we're gonna spend that 15,000 for. We say it's a carport type thing, everybody know that, can see that, and the other amenities that they're offering, not just porta potty, electric outlet, and water. I mean, that's kind of basics, but I need more information about this project. And, especially the dimension of our land there that we own, and also some data to back up.
City manager, can you get her some, get Commissioner Henry some information
I
on?
can provide all of that, and it doesn't need to delay a thing. It's a simple matter. In fact, I can go on Beacon and print out the location there of the property and send that to every commissioner tomorrow. It doesn't need to hold up anything.
Let's do
And
that.
everything else I've already described, and that is 4 or 5 wooden picnic tables, a double type overhang that people can get under, and that's going to cost about $5,000 to buy and probably a couple thousand to anchor it in so that it doesn't blow away, and the rest of it we can do. And it really, the building is a totally separate issue, has nothing to do with this. We don't own the building, and in fact, when it's properly enforced, the building should be shuttered and boarded up because it's not habitable, it has no electricity, it has water, but water shouldn't be going into a building that's been basically determined already not habitable.
Send this to the, and we just,
If it
we
comes to
gon'
me
oh,
without this background information,
but he,
before, I mean, I don't need time to look at it. I don't need it to come the day of our commission meeting.
manager, we get that information too.
I will get information out on the location tomorrow, and that's really the only thing that's at issue here.
You're saying $5,000 for carport, $2,000 or maybe for installation. I know we're not gonna pay any money on electricity because we have a flat rate with AEP, and that's.
Where'd you get that from? I ain't never heard of no flat rate.
AEP told me that.
Well, I think somebody may have misled you. Madam Clerk, you're aware of our electric bills, and so you ever seen a flat rate?
I know that there's a flat rate for, so say, streetlights usually have a flat rate. Nope, can't think of a flat rate for anything else, though.
Okay, thank you. Well, 4 or 5 wood picnic tables.
And I'll be glad to furnish you copies of everything that we purchase.
I wanna see the whole.
Ma'am, I don't have time to write a whole plan on paper. I've got a dozen things going on at any one time.
Into your phone, and your phone will print it out. It even print out your e-bodies. So don't tell me you can't do it.
I can't do it. I'm telling you now, I can't do it. I can't speak in my phone and have it printed out either.
We'll send it to the full body, it'll come back,
No, we won't
You get-
send it to the full body. This is 3 of them in one.
Mr. Little,
it should meet Monday, right?
anything you need help with, let me know. I will. Thank you.
So let's send it, then we just might as well scrap the,
We got 3 things here. So no background information.
he gonna send in information,
I'm saying you can only send me beacons, pictures. That's okay, I'll accept that, but $15,000 for a beacon, that ain't enough for me. $15,000, that's a lot of money for us to have your money. And if you send this one to.
That's up to 15,000 for everything.
That's
Commissioner?
Well, I'm through discussing it because he said he can't and he will, so I'm good. But we can't push it through because you got two other more to look at. This is one resolution.
What you gonna talk about? The next one?
You the chair.
Splash pad?
Let's
Commissioner.
talk about Morton Park side.
Sign, okay.
Place. That's next on the agenda. That's up to
S- s-
$9,000.
Did we ever find that sign, or you just getting a whole new
It
one?
was smashed. We're going to get a new one, and I met with the people that manufactured the sign. We're going to build into this sign so that it'll be stronger and somebody can't do what they did to the other. That one was suspended between two posts, and anybody on a four-wheeler or whatever could run right through it and smash it, and I think that's probably what happened. We're going to put 4x4s at the top and the bottom with a groove in it, so it sits down in there and has protection not only on the sides, but top and bottom also. And Whirlpool paid for the last sign. They're expecting us to replace it. Because it fell underneath our deductible, we have to do that ourselves.
Okay.
And I would respectfully ask that the committee forward it to the commission. Every commissioner has a vote. If you don't want to vote for it, don't vote for it.
Yep.
Oh, no, you didn't go there. You didn't go there, did you?
Okay, the next one is the splash pad. Could you tell me what parks,
No, I need to talk about this here.
sign?
Let's take the $9,000 for the sign. We can replace it in the spring of next year and put the $9,000 in the $15,000 and give the homeless a little bit more. We can replace that flag, that post, anytime we want to.
Imagine when you plan on replacing the sign? Is this year?
Given the instruction, the go-ahead purchase order to the company to start manufacturing and putting the sign together. And that way, as soon as it's ready, we
They
will
need the
install
funds to
it.
start the
Yeah.
process.
Yes.
We can do it in April. We can even have a celebration. Oh, we're coming back and putting a sign up, one bigger. But then let's take that $9,000 and put it on the people.
Next, we're gonna talk about the splash
We're
pad.
gonna talk about what I'm talking about with you right now.
We already talked about the sign. We're gonna move the sign. It's $9,000. We gotta replace the sign.
Do we have to replace the sign or do we have to help the people?
We are helping the people at the same time. It's something.
God is gonna look at some things that you saying. And if you ever talk about me voting no again, which, I know you don't have to tell me how to vote or what to vote. Because you being
Come on, Commissioner Henry.
disrespectful to me. You
Hold on.
did disrespectful to me.
You forget. Your job as a commissioner is you're a policymaker. You vote on it. My job is to try to come up with these solutions.
And you don't have to tell me I can vote no.
Let's
or
bring it
vote
back.
yes.
Let's bring it
Because
back.
I already know I can vote yes or no.
Right, I know.
That's disrespectful and I don't care. And if you wanna push it forward, you wanna push this whole initiative forward without having any
We
conversation?
talking about the splash pads now.
Okay, $40,000 was splash pad.
Could you tell me the parks, city manager? What parks you had in mind to?
Union Park first and possibly Hall Park.
Okay,
Hall Park and whatever.
Union Park, small, time splash pads.
And these things run from, you can get a smaller version. I understand that Stevensville and Lincoln Township may have put in small ones that would fit within the range of the money that I'm talking about. If you look at one like the big one over at St. Joe, I believe Whirlpool expended well over $200,000 for that. So we're just talking about putting a couple in so that our children will have a means to be able to go out here when the temperature hits 99 to get cool without us having to bring a fire truck to do it.
To the chair. Can I have background information on that?
some information, the design, or the size.
Background information on what he intend to do. He got 2 spots, but that means 20,000 apiece. He's already told us the 2 locations he would like to put him in. We need to have some information about him. We cannot just say, here, you have come back to spend $40,000 and no information.
As soon as I get the information, I will share it.
But
Thank
you
you.
wanna put it on the agenda.
Thank you. Let's move that forward. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for attending.